गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम 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 नारायण। नमामि गौडपादं च शङ्करं श्रीसुरेश्वरं स्वामिनं सच्चिदानन्दमिन्द्रं तं ज्ञानसिद्धये। ओम 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 नारायण। So after Sugama is complete, I thought of doing manana on Mulavidya Nirasa. So this class is mainly for my own manana, and if it is useful to anybody else, I just upload it. So it might be useful to some people. Whoever is interested to join my manana can listen to this. So I just go slowly, point by point. My purpose is not to just fast finish the book, but just to do manana of each sentence and try to understand it in our anubhava. Okay, so my purpose is this. So this will help you also. You means those who are interested. So first chapter, Mulavidya Nirasa. I think the text is available, and I try to provide I have done some translation, but I don't know where to put. I think I'll try to put in the comment below each video the portion which I am teaching, that day portion. I try to put it. Let me see whether the space is enough to give it there. Prathama Khandaha, first chapter, Vishayavataranam. Let me read out the Mangalacharana. Avastharahitam mudaistrevasthamiti kalpitam astham purastat tattejo mola vidya nirasakrita. See, avastharahitam. Avastharahitam mudaistrevasthamiti kalpitam. The truth, the essential truth. Essential means the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is the truth of the universe and truth of myself. Okay, that truth is not subject to any states. The truth is itself neither a state nor it is subject to various states. It is stateless. State means what appears tentatively or from a particular angle. What appears tentatively is a state. So Atma doesn't have a tentative features. It is absolute. Avastharahitam. Avastharahitam. Now, in contrast with it, we are undergoing states. Okay, we have a waking state, dream state, deep sleep, and still many more states which can be clubbed into these three. Small states, minor states and all. Roughly, all these states can be reduced to three. So we are undergoing three states. State means a tentative one. Now a tentative means we are passing through. What is tentative has to come and go. But even during the state, you are continuously passing. You are moving. So this is what is our present condition. We are continuously moving, and also moving, entering into one state, stay in it, and then again leave it, enter into another. So like this, a state means a tentative one, and also moving one, passing or moving. But Atma, in your real nature, you don't have any tentative feature. You are absolute. Your nature is absolute and all the time the same. Therefore, avastharahitam is our real nature. But mudhaihi trevasthamiti kalpitam. The Mangalacharana shloka, Swamiji briefly in one shloka he stated, mudha means those who could not do, or those who did not do viveka. Mudha is deluded, confused. Or deluded means who are who are under illusion, who are under a misunderstanding, those who did not do viveka. Any misunderstanding persists as long as you do viveka, you inquire, you investigate into it, it falls apart. You come to understand how it is wrong and you know what is right. So one who doesn't do investigation, doesn't do viveka is called mudha. So we seem to find ourselves subjected to states. That is because mudha. Mudha means we have not done viveka. So without doing viveka, without doing inquiry, without doing investigation, we take it for granted what we find instinctively. Instinctively means without any effort. What we find effortlessly ourselves to be at this moment, we continue in it. We just don't bother to question it. We don't bother to further probe deeply into it. Whatever appears to us, whatever we feel, we perceive superficially, we just remain in it. We continue in it and we just go about our living, go about doing our things. So this mudhaihi travastamiti kalpitam. These mudhas, kalpitam is imagined. Imagined means is not an action on our part. We find ourselves in this illusion of three states. Atma, which is free from three states, the truth which is free from any state, is found to be taken as subject to three states. By whom? During or under a misunderstanding, under an illusion. So we under an illusion finding that we are subject to states. In short, in reality you are stateless, but I find myself to be undergoing states, subject to states. So this subject to states is due to illusion, means you are not investigating. If you investigate, you will discover that these states don't belong to you. You are not really undergoing any states. Even now you are stateless, pure, absolute existence. So this is a Mangalachan. So that Brahman, the truth, let the truth stand in front of me. Swamiji says, Astam purasta tat tejaha. Tejaha, the illumination. The illumination of that Brahman, that absolute truth. Absolute truth is a self-evident. Okay? Absolute truth. Let that absolute truth stand in front of me, because that is the goal and that is the basis. Because without its help, see, without the help of a fact, a mistake cannot be corrected. Okay? If you are under a mistake, how do you correct mistake as a mistake? How do you understand mistake as a mistake, and how do you correct it? If you look for the fact will be somewhere self-evident. So since the self-evident is continuously covered up, distorted, misrepresented by the misunderstanding, the misunderstanding continuously misrepresents the reality. So that reality which is misrepresented, misconceived, misunderstood, let that stand in front of me. Astam purastat tattavat. Tat tejaha. Tat tejaha. Let that illumination, let that consciousness, let that stand in front of me. Purastat, in front of me. Astam purastat tat tejaha. Mulavidya Nirasa krito. Where should it stand? It should stand and help me in dismissing Mulavidya. In dismissing Mulavidya. Because Mulavidya is a misconception. Misconception means, instead of misconception, it is an artificial misconception. One is an instinctive misunderstanding. Okay? One is an instinctive misunderstanding that is present in jivas. Second thing is, artificially is a man-made mistake. That means a humanly while trying to understand the truth, in the very investigation, a defect happened. In the self-inquiry, in the investigation into the truth, the methods have created a mistake. See, it is like this. One is ignorance of science. Let us take a worldly example. One is an ignorance of science. By investigating, you come to discover science. But there are other problems in the very scientific world. In the scientific investigation, some human beings adopted wrong methods. Okay, certain wrong assumptions and wrong methods. These assumptions and wrong methods become a standard ways of investigation. They block the very healthy and a good investigation. They block, they interfere. Similarly, so the natural instinctive avidya, we can discover, we can understand, we can investigate into it. But while investigating into the Atma, while investigating and trying to correct our misunderstanding, on the way, we have somehow picked up, I don't know, certain wrong method, certain wrong assumptions. These artificial assumptions of human beings have become obstacles in a healthy vichara. In a straight and healthy investigation, they have become blockades. So that blockade is Mulavidya. See, you understand what is Mulavidya? Because when we go into detail, you will know what it is. But in the beginning, before we know what is Mulavidya, this is a very, very simple way of understanding. In a wrong investigation has brought up, it is a human defects, or the human beings have adopted wrong method, wrong approach of investigation, so that the real and healthy and a real and a healthy investigation has been disturbed, distorted, and that distorted one is creating an obstacle. Therefore, we will correct that and come to the right method of investigation. So we'll do both. The wrong method will be. Now, how do you know the wrong approach is a wrong? By understanding the right approach, you will see the wrong approach as a wrong, by contrast. So by helping you to understand, through this book, we help you to understand the wrong approach to the truth. How do you help? By showing the right approach. So when you show the right approach, right way of investigating, right way of doing vichara, right way of probing, inquiring, the wrong way also will be understood there itself. So at every moment, avoid the wrong approach, adopt the right approach. So this is, so for this purpose, let that Atma be always in front of me to guide me while refuting this wrong approach. So astam purastat tattejaha Mulavidya Nirasa krit. While I am Mulavidya Nirasa krit, when I am refuting, correcting this Mulavidya, the wrong approach, the obstacle to the right vichara, obstacle to the samyak vichara, the right vichara, right prakriya. So this Mulavidya, a wrong prakriya, is an interfering and creating an obstacle. So let that Bhagavan, let that universal truth help me. Because if you are here, you see, if you are seriously interested in the truth, not in the book and way of investigating and people, neither in the book nor in the people. See, yes, I'll give you an example of worldly example. A scientist is interested in the truth, not in the group of scientists, not in their approaches, their methods, their instruments. Their instruments, methods come next step. First step is you are interested in the truth. So whoever helps you, you receive him. Whosoever other scientists are also doing, investigating, if their search also helps you, take help of them. But themselves should not become more important than the truth. Okay? The faculty, The number of scientists, their approaches, their books should not become more important than the truth. Okay? Isn't it? This is natural. Similarly, the university should not become university, and the people, the staff, the teaching staff, professors and their buildings, etc., they should not become more important than the truth. And even if they come in the way, still we will not compromise. We will go by what others say, our university says. Our university has a stand and we follow it. We don't care for the truth. Our people are important. Our views are important. Our method is important. But even if it comes in the way of the truth, we don't mind. But this is important. So this poses an obstacle to the truth. Therefore here, Mulavidya Nirasa Krita. So let the same truth, if you are interested in the truth, then that itself, see, let it stand in front of me means what? I am purely interested in truth. Any acharya, any book, any commentary, any vyakhyana, any Sanskrit commentary, everything we take help of. We don't mind anybody. Whether Shankaras, post-Shankaras, everybody will take help of. The point is, understand the truth is important. In understanding the truth, whatever is helpful, we take it because the truth is primary, truth is the main goal. Therefore, I keep the truth as a main, and I'm a mumukshu, I'm interested in the truth. Not the other investigators' ideas and their approaches. I develop emotional attachment and I get stuck. Even if it gives difficulty, even if it poses some obstacle, yet I will not give up. This should not be there. Therefore, this Mulavidya is wrong method. Obstacles, wrong method of investigation. So that wrong conceptions led this wrong hypothesis, wrong theories they have brought up, and they are becoming obstacles in doing the inquiry. So that I keep the truth alone. Then I'll approach the straight and clean method, and all the wrong methods get rejected. Because I have no any other agenda except the truth. I am interested in only truth. Therefore, I keep the truth in front of me to be able to reject all unnecessary wrong methods, wrong ways, wrong theories, which are against Anubhava, which unnecessarily pose problems in my investigation. Okay? This shloka simply means this. It is my manana, as I told you. I am not explaining. Even after explaining, again I do. Again I think. As I think, I am just presenting it. So it is my own clarity. It just I present in front of you. Sometimes it comes a repetition. Again I think. Investigation means again I observe. Again I observe. Whatever I feel, I express. Again I observe. Again I observe. Again I express. So it is observing, watching, going deeper. Whatever comes, I keep expressing. So sometimes a few words are repeated. Sometimes a second observation, third observation, a little insight comes. Third observation, a little more insight. In fourth observation, little more insight. Then in the process, few points are repeated. It's a natural investigation we go. It's not a ready-made book I prepare and come and teach. I just don't do. Therefore, in my talk, you feel that a little repetitions and then, okay. So it is a live investigation. Okay, now after shloka, Pitika. First Swamiji says it is a preface or a prelude, something like that. So, Vedanta Prakriya Suchanam. What is the Vedantic way of approach, Vedantic approach? Vedantic approach to the truth, investigation into the truth, inquiry into the truth. First we say the bare outlines of basic Vedantic approach. Then in these things, what common man thinks? Three things Swamiji presents here. One is what common man thinks. And there is a wrong approach to Vedantic inquiry, wrong approach to the truth, wrong inquiry to the truth. And there is a right inquiry. Three, what common man thinks, what a wrong approach. Wrong means a slightly deviation. They are also sincere seekers, but due to some misunderstanding somewhere, unintentionally, unconsciously, few things have entered. So one is a common man, an ordinary human being, ordinary jivas misunderstanding. This common to all. All jivas have got these common misunderstandings, common avidya which everybody has. Misunderstandings, weaknesses, all this. Second is in the approach, some people have done a mistake. Then the third one is the right one. So these three, you can see them throughout the book. These three ones Swamijis have been discussing. So first he says outlines of the basic Vedantic approach. Basic Vedantic teaching, the essential Vedantic teaching approach, he tells briefly in the first paragraph, and then proceeds with common man's thinking, then what the others say, then he corrects it and comes to the right one. Okay? This is what the first chapter. In a few more points are there. In the beginning he says, see, Nirvishesha Anavachinna Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupe Sarvatmani Mithyabhutasya Atmananatmanaha Samsargamaropyamanam Mabudhaihi Apodya Vastu Swarupasya. It's a long sentence. Vastu Swarupasya Nirvichikitsam Nischayartham Nikila Nigamaramba iti Bhagavata Bhashyakarena Sopapattikam Prasthanatrayepi Pradarshitam. Okay? In Prasthanatraya, means in the three Prasthanatraya Bhashyam, Bhashyakara Bhagavatpada Shankaracharya has shown this. What is it? Nirvishesha Anavachinna Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupe Sarvatmani. Sarvatma, it is an Atman of everybody. See, it is an Atman of not given people. It is an Atman of everybody and everything. Entire universe. Atma means oneself, the real self. Your essential self, your real self, real you. The real you, me and the world. It is the self of all, Sarvatma. How is this Sarvatma? Sarva means of the world, inert object and living and non-living, everything. It is the Atma of living and non-living. Okay, Sarvatma. How is that? Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupa. Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupa. It is a pure consciousness. What is consciousness we know? Then what is pure? We are conscious, but the consciousness is contaminated, adulterated. It is mixed with something else. What is that something else? Anything other than consciousness is mixed with other things like Rajoguna, Tamoguna and all that. Insentient, like the body is insentient, world is insentient. So anything other than the Chaitanyam is mixed with Chaitanyam. It is imposed on it. So other than the, but Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupam. So the Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupam, which is untouched, unaffected by anything other than consciousness. Okay, Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupa, and it is Anavachinna, it has no limitation. Nirvishesha, Nirvishesha means without any Vishesha, without any distinctions. In conscious, like a space cannot be distinguished as a smaller space, bigger space, deeper space, and thicker space and thinner space. There are no qualitative variations within the Vishesha means variations. There are no variations of high and low and good and bad and all those things. So without any variations, but it is a through and through one and uniform. Doesn't have variations. Nirvishesha. Vishesha means what? Something variations. Nirvishesha, without any variation, it is a one and uniform consciousness. Limitless. Anavachinna. Avachinna, limited. Anavachinna, limitless. One is a Nirvishesha and Anavachinna and a pure consciousness. And what is it? It is everybody's Atma. It is yours and mine and everybody. So don't look for that it is elsewhere, somewhere, God in heaven and all that. It is yourself and everybody's self. Okay. Now this first sentence says, Nirvishesha Anavachinna Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupe Sarvatmani. This is a reality. When this is a reality, then what is the problem now? If that is a reality, then we are happy. True. But the problem is that reality is missed, and that reality is missed and something else is seen in that place. Now what is that? what is the reality is one thing, but what we are aware of it now, we take it to be as something this. What is this? Mithya bhutasya anatmanah samsargam aropyamanam abudhai. So mithya bhutasya anatmanah samsargam. Mithya bhuta anatma. Anatma is a non-self. Other than the self. Other than the self, where is it? It is not there, but it is assumed. See, this is a very peculiar thing. If there is a real anatma, atma will be all the time stuck with it. Anatma is non-self. Atma is self. Anatma is non-self. Means what is other than myself, what is alien to myself is coming and sticking to me. That means my real self is not available as a pure state. It is always combined with something other than me, something. Its purity is not maintained. So anatma, then where is that anatma? Is there something other than atma? It is not there. Then what is it? Mithya bhuta. It is wrongly thought of. Wrongly thought of means it is wrongly imagined. Though it doesn't exist, we assume as if it is there. So it's a very peculiar thing. Anatma is not really an existing in addition to Atma. There is nothing addition to Atma. Atma is all pervasive, limitless. When it is limitless Atma, where does this Anatma come from? It doesn't come. Then it doesn't come, then how come I feel? That's what we say. You are feeling, that's all. Without being there, you think that it is there. It's a wrong thinking. So it is a wrong thinking, wrong imagination, as if there is an anatma, but in fact really not. But it is good that it is only a wrong thinking. If it were really there, you can't do anything. If anatma is coming and sticking to atma and what you call polluting it, adulterating it, spoiling it. If anatma is polluting it, polluting its purity, and then you will be helpless if anatma were real, but anatma is not there. That means its purity is always there. Atma's purity is always there. Anatma is only wrongly thought of. It is not really there, but you think as if it is there. Oh, if that is the case, doesn't matter. I am very happy that it is only wrongly thought of. Then you correct it, then you are free. Therefore, mithya bhutasya anatmanah samsargam aropyamanam. So, the mithya bhuta anatma, the false anatma's connection is imposed on it. Samsargam. Okay. Upon this pure self, upon this pure Atman, the ignorant superimpose the non-self born of misconception. The connection we superimpose. Connection means we feel as if they are attached, as if they are related. That anatma is as if sticking to atma. That's a relation. We falsely, wrongly impose. First, anatma itself is falsely imagined, and its connection is also falsely imagined. Two things. Anatma is falsely imagined, and its connection with atma is also wrong. It's not really there. But we feel, but it's not there. Your feeling itself is wrong. It's not true to the fact. In reality, it is not there. But you feel. That's okay. So, samsargam aropyamanam. Why do we do? Due to ignorance. Ignorance means what? Ignorance means we just feel. Wrongly we feel, but we never bother to investigate it. If we investigate it, we come to know, oh, it is wrong. Alas, it is a wrong thing, we understand. But this ignorance is instinctively there for everybody. Any ignorance is instinctive. Okay? Abudhaihi. Abudha means ignorant people. Apodhya. Then what does Vedanta do? Corrects that misunderstanding. That instinctive ignorance or misunderstanding, it corrects. Vastuswarupasya nirvichikitsam nischayartham. So to correct it and also ascertain the reality. Vastuswarupam, the real nature of the Atma. To ascertain the real nature of Atma by debunking, by dismissing, by refuting, by correcting the misunderstanding, that is avidya. Then nirvichikitsam nischayartham. What kind of ascertainment? Purely beyond all doubt. Nirvichikitsam, beyond all doubt. Okay. the aim of all the Upanishad is to clearly ascertain the nature of reality by sublating this superimposition. Clearly ascertaining, nirvichikitsam, beyond all doubt. Clearly ascertaining means beyond doubt, it is very clear. Okay. So this one, Sopapattikam, this one, the venerated or the Bhagavan Shankaracharya has proved this. Sopapattikam means with a logically he explained all these things in his Prasthanatrayi Bhashya. Okay. Now, tatra sarvepi vedantaha jagrad vyavahare vishaya vibhagam adaya atmanam vivinchanti. Then what in his Prasthanatrayi Bhashya, what do the Upanishads do? Do like this. Sarvepi Vedanta. All the Upanishads, Jagrad Vyavahare Vishaya Vibhagam Adaya Atman. Now how do they do? The Prasthanatrayi Bhashya, what Bhashyakara told, is based upon Upanishads alone. So what do the Upanishads say? First we take Vishaya Vibhaga, obtained in the waking state. In the waking state, we find that we are experiencing a subject-object duality. So the waking state, which is characterized by a duality of subject-object, knower and known, jnatru jneya, subject-object. So Vishaya Vibhaga Madaya. This waking state means inevitably subject-object duality. Without that, there is no waking state. All the waking state, within the waking state, whatever you experience, all the experiences, all the objects, all the worlds, all the worldly objects can be reduced into one common experience of subject-object. Subject is connected to object, object is seen by the subject. Okay, so the subject-object connection, this is our experience. This experience alone is continuously there in the waking state. Within that, there is a variety of objects. Okay, within this relation of subject to object, there are variety of objects. Many various objects you find, but objectness is common in all these. Okay, in the world, what do we see in the waking state? Various objects, but object is one which is a common to all these objects. And I subject may be changing, I keep undergoing changes, but my being a subject is common. So I am a common subject assuming various subjective forms, subjective roles. Similarly, objects are many, but all of them can be reduced to one common object as this, I and this, subject and object. So this subject-object relationship is common underlying all our variety of experiences in the waking state. Therefore, sarvepi vedantaha jagrad vyavahare, in this jagrad avastha waking state, vishaya vibhagam adaya vivinchanti. Now, what Vedanta does is, they start from this waking state, they start the investigation from the waking state, because that is available to us right now. Okay, so the present experience we start with. They start doing vivinchanti, they start doing viveka. Okay, jatityavagata mithya bhave swapne punastasyaiva atmanah swayam jyotishvam pratipadayanti. In waking state, what do we do? There is one consciousness, unchanging consciousness. In the waking state, the consciousness is one common substratum of all our experiences. Okay, there is a common consciousness, and everything else is within that, including my subject and object, my body, my sense organs, my mind, my sense of I, sense of me, the I notion. Even including the I notion, the entire time, place, world and objects and everything, entire world is known, and the subject is the pure subject, changeless subject. The pure common subject is pure consciousness, is the basis of the entire waking state. Okay, and that remains changeless, just like a screen of the film. Okay, the screen remains. On the screen you will see many things come and go, but the screen remains. First, Vedanta teaches you watch. Watch that in your experience there is an underlying changeless conscious screen. On that you have a thought of me, thought of world, thought of body, sense organ, everything. All these thoughts and objects are experienced, are known on the basis of, on the substrate of consciousness. A natural, effortless, it is self-existing, self-evident consciousness. On that you see all these things. So in the waking state, they do this much of viveka. Vedanta helps you first do this much of viveka. Viveka means consciously distinguish it, separate it, discriminate it, watch. There is one consciousness in and through all your thinking, feeling, etc. There is underlying consciousness. Basis, substrate. On that you will see the entire waking state. Entire waking state, time and place and objects and subjects and body, mind, sense organ, everything. And including the I notion. I notion is also known, illumined by that consciousness which is changeless, natural, self-existing. This much viveka they do within the waking state. Okay, next step. Now that consciousness is a changeless one. The entire waking state goes away. When you go to dream, means or when you compare with dream, the consciousness which has witnessed the entire waking, the consciousness which has witnessed the subjective waking subject and object of the waking state, the subjective world, that is the body, mind, sense organs, intellect and the I notion. From the I notion to the body, entire subjective world and the entire objective world. All this of the waking state is set aside, but the pure consciousness, self-existing, the witnessing consciousness, the consciousness in us which witnesses this entire waking state, entire waking experiences, including the waking individual. It is witnessing even the waking individual, because the witness remains, the waking individuality gets erased. Waking individuality, waking body, mind, sense organs, world and everything, you remove it, you set aside, you give up. But the witnessing consciousness continues in the dream state. Okay, the witnessing consciousness exists. Naturally, there effortlessly. It doesn't do anything. So that witnessing consciousness upon which we have seen the entire waking state, that visible world is erased. In that place, dream comes. Okay. Pratipadayanti jatityavagata bhave swapne. This becomes easy, that the witnessing consciousness is continuously there, eternal, but the world is tentatively appearing and disappearing. It is easy to understand in dream. In dream, the witnessing consciousness is self-shining. Mithyabhave swapne punastasyaiva atmanah swayam jyotishvam pratipadayanti. Here, in the waking state, witnessing consciousness is there, but it is in association with the waking world. So in dream, the same witnessing consciousness remains untouched by the waking, the dream world. Because the dream world is a falsely imagined, and it's very easy to understand that the world is not touching the consciousness. In the waking world, consciousness is there, world is there, but seems to be lightly touching it, slightly touching it. You can see them, consciousness and the world. Consciousness which is witnessing the entire world, subjective world and objective world in the waking state. The same investigation, you continue into the dream, it becomes clearer. What becomes clear? Extra clear. In dream state, the witnessing consciousness is there, unrelated, untouched by the dream world. Dream world is only a false appearance, like the appearances in a mirror. Appearances in a mirror are not real entities. Dream things, dream worldly things are not real entities. Therefore, so the consciousness is pure and self-shining, independently shining. Okay? In the waking state, though Atma is a witness, but you think that Atma is a witness only when it is witnessing the world. See, what we have to understand here is The witnessing nature of Atma is independent of what is witnessed. In the waking state, Atma is a witness, but it is associated with the objects. While witnessing the object, it constitutes witness. But in dream, Atma is independently, its nature of witnessing is independent. It doesn't depend upon dream. Because the dream objects are superficial, they are only false appearances. They don't have an existence. They have false experiences. The witnessing becomes a little more independent compared to waking. The witnessing consciousness is independent, it is self-shining. Okay, so Swayam Jyotishvam Pratipadayanti Jagrat. Therefore, if Atma is pure consciousness, witnessing consciousness, and the witnessing consciousness is independent of the world it is witnessing. So the world is only a false appearance. Therefore, the dream world can be set aside and consciousness, the witnessing consciousness can be ascertained as independent. But Jagrat Prapanchayoha Sarva Samata Suchanena, now it shows the waking and dream are equal. Similar, very much similar, how the entire dream state is falsely appearing on the consciousness, witnessing consciousness. Similarly, waking state also, the entire waking state, including the waking individual. The waking individual is a part of waking state, just as the dream individual is a part of dream state. The witness is untouched by it. So the witness is common to both, same witness, both the states keep exchanging, or both the waking and dream state keep negating each other, but consciousness remains the same. The witnessing consciousness doesn't get involved with waking, doesn't get involved with dream. It is not involved, it is not touched, it is not influenced by neither waking nor, it is influenced neither by waking world nor by dream world, neither by the waking individual nor by the dream individual, neither by the waking mind nor the dream mind. It is mindless, pure consciousness. Okay, mind means limitation. Therefore, Sarvat Samata Suchanena Vishaya. So, when they show that consciousness is the same, but the world is only false appearance, because waking world is negating dream, dream world is negating everything, that means they have no standing on their own. Mithya means what? They have no independent standing. It is the consciousness that is appearing to be so they have no independent standing. Waking state, while appearing, is not independent of consciousness. Then in dream state, consciousness is independent, but the waking world disappears. The witnessing consciousness independently exists. Waking world has no existence apart from witnessing consciousness. Dream world has no existence apart from consciousness. So the consciousness exists independently, both in waking and dream, but the waking world and dream world don't exist independent of witnessing consciousness. Okay? Waking world and dream world don't exist independent of the witnessing consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is, the witnessing consciousness is independent. The world is only tentative appearance of the consciousness only. It is the Sakshi alone tentatively seeing himself as a world. Therefore, world itself, waking world and dream world, have no independent standing. They have no existence. They have no independent standing apart from the very witnessing consciousness. Therefore, Vishaya Mithyatvam. So the Vishaya, the waking world and the dream world are Mithya. Pratipadayanti athapi Vishaya Sahacharyam Naivatma Vijahati. Yet, people may think that, okay, waking world negates dream world negates dream world, therefore they negate mutually and consciousness stands without two states, without any state. This can be understood by this much viveka. But some people, unable to see so deeply, they may think that, okay, waking world is not there during dream, dream world is not there during waking. But Atma, the witnessing consciousness, is always associated with by some or other world. Okay, waking world may not be there in dream. Some people may doubt like this. Waking world may not be there in dream. Dream world may not be there during waking. But Atma is associated with some world, people may think. In fact, Atma is independent of a world. It is worldless. Because both the world simultaneously negate each other. Waking and dream simultaneously negate each other. They replace each other, negate each other simultaneously and mutually. When they simultaneously, mutually negate each other, they have no existence, only Atma remains. Yet, somebody may not understand this deeply. He may think that still the world, I am not able to understand how the Atma consciousness, witnessing consciousness is totally worldless. World is there in some form, some world, waking or dream, either of the world. He may think, for such person, Atma is still not independent of the world, because some world it is sticking. At least dream world, false world is sticking. Atma is not totally free from the world. He may think, for such person, Vedanta shows, Savishesho Vishayavachinnaye Veti Kaschin Mandamatin Bhayat. A Mandamati means one who is not clear in his thinking, might think that still Atma is not free from the world. To such people, it shows deep sleep. It points out, look at the deep sleep, Atma effortlessly free from the world. Do you see? No world at all. All the world is yourself. No world means what? World is yourself. There is no world apart from you, neither waking nor dream. So you alone remain. Tan nirakaranaya sarva vishaya malavarjitam sushupti upanyasya. Sushupti is free from the entire world or state. Purely Atma itself. Alone, all alone, non-dual, infinite. Non-dual and infinite. Therefore, Atmano, by showing the Sushupti, by helping you to watch, by helping you to inquire into Sushupti, nature of Sushupti, you come to realize you are free from it. Okay? Nissangatvam. Atma is unattached, uninvolved with anything. Drudhi kurvanti. They confirm. They what you say that? Drudhi kurvanti. How to say that? I myself forgot. Drudhi karanam. Ascertain. Same thing. Drudhi kurvanti means ascertain Atma's total freedom from the world. Okay. Drudhi kurvanti. Ityevam avasthatrate parikshan. Thus, by the examination of 3 states alone, enough for you to understand that you are the truth and the world doesn't exist apart from you. There is no such thing called world. It is only another name for yourself, another name for the Atma. Therefore, there is no world apart from the Atma. Atma alone is infinite, pure consciousness, free. This is the basic outlines of Vedanta. Okay, first paragraph we have discussed, just outlines of Vedanta. And we'll continue tomorrow, and also a little bit of half an hour to 40 minutes of Mulavidya and another 30 minutes to 40 minutes of Vedanta Paribhasha. These two will continue every day. Some days somebody comes, some disturbance, that day I can't do, or due to my some ill health or something. Otherwise, daily I think 30-40 minutes of Mulavidya Nirasa, 30-40 minutes of Vedanta Paribhasha. We do at least these 5 days. Other days we have some Gita and others, 2 Gitas, English Gita and then Telugu Gita. English Gita, this last Sunday I couldn't do, some disturbance. So I'll do in one of the days. Or probably next Sunday definitely I shall do. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.